Today we'll be talking about how to cover your eye bags with makeup. Now I'll be talking about what to do, what not to do. So if you've ever struggled with dark circles or puffiness under your eyes, you have to keep watching because there's a lot of tips and tricks. Hey lovelies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jo Pepple and I'm a makeup artist and content creator based in Lagos City, Nigeria. Now if you're new here, welcome. Welcome. All right, thank you so much for clicking to watch my video. Kindly like, share, subscribe. So this channel I post contents revolving around beauty, lifestyle and food. And did I forget drama? Yes, I do all of that on my channel. So if there's something you're interested in, kindly please stick with me on this journey. Today we'll be talking about how to cover your eye bags with makeup. Now I'll be talking about what to do, what not to do. So if you've ever struggled with dark circles or puffiness under your eyes, you have to keep watching because there's a lot of tips and tricks for you in this video. First things first, skincare is your foundation for a very great makeup. Hydrating your under eyes is very essential because dry skin makes the under eyes. If you apply concealers, it's going to make it look cakey, and you don't want that. It's going to make it look cakey and it could easily just crease because you know the under eyes definitely it creases. So imagine you have this puffiness and you're just going in with your concealer. It's not going to look good. It's going to crease. It's going to be cakey, so you don't want that. So moisturizing is your best friend. Have a good moisturizer. Gently tap as you're applying on your face, yes, but gently tap under your eyes. Lots of it. Let it sink in before you proceed to the next step. So you don't want to skip the first step that I mentioned, because if you do, your makeup will settle into fine lines and it will highlight dryness because it will be too dry. So it's going to make your eye bags more noticeable because you did not moisturize. So you're already battling with dark circles or puffiness under your eyes. You don't want to use dark colors under your eyes. If possible, if you could even skip the under eye liner, perfect, yeah. If you could skip it, perfect. Because one thing that happened to a client of mine, every time she's always rubbing, she used to call it tiro, right? So she's always rubbing it under eyes. She's always like using eyeliners for under eyes, and her dark circles were massive because she found out that even after bathing and cleaning, sometimes those residues will not go and her dark circles were becoming more visible. So I had to advise her, stop using that eyeliner under your eyes. At least, not every time. Don't use it. Don't use that. Say you want to smoke out under your eyes, don't do that because you have a target here. You have something you're working towards. So please avoid using dark colors under your eyes. Tip is choosing the right concealer. When it comes to concealers, the shade and the formula of your concealer matters a lot. You want to pick a concealer that's just like one shade lighter than your skin tone. I know when we talk about highlighting and contouring, you want to go overboard and maybe even use 2 shades or 3 shades lighter just to define your face, but we're talking about reducing or making your eye bags to not be so noticeable. So don't overdo it. Don't use a concealer that's like 2 shades or 3 shades lighter than your skin. It's only going to throw more light to that thing that we're trying to reduce. Do you understand? So anything too light can make the under eye look very ashy or gray. So you want to go for creamy lightweight concealers that is about one shade lighter than your skin. Trust me, it's still going to do the job perfectly because we know what we're trying to work on here, to conceal, to hide the bags. So don't go too much so you're not going to make it so noticeable. All right, so use a concealer that is lightweight and just 1 shade lighter than your skin. So talking about concealers, you don't want to use concealers that are too thick. I talked about lightweight, emphasis on lightweight. Don't use concealers that are too thick or too bright. They tend to emphasize texture. So it's like going to give it more skin. You know, puffiness is already there. So when you're using something thick, instead of it to reduce, it's going to give it more, it's going to make it more pronounced. So don't use a thick concealer when you're highlighting or you want to define your face. No, please use a very lightweight concealer that's just 1 shade brighter than your original skin tone. Another way to conceal eye bags is placement. How you are placing your concealers is very key. So what you want to do, instead of just putting it everywhere, just slathering it everywhere, no. You want to focus on the hollow areas. You want to focus on those places that are hollow. You want to focus on those places where the shadows are more prominent. Those are the places that you want to focus on. So don't just put concealers and pack everywhere. No, focus on those places that you're seeing the shadows and those places that are hollow. Those are the places you want to conceal. Use a very small amount. I always talk about this, less is more. It's better you build as you go than to overdo it and you're trying to find a way to reduce it. No. So you want to gently put on those areas that are hollow and you can see the shadows, and you want to gently dab. Gently what? Dab. Gently dab. That's what you want to do. So placement is key. Know where you put those hollow areas, those dark areas. That's going to help you fill it in and help you to conceal your eye bag even more. Talking about concealers, you've applied on those places, but what you should not do, don't apply concealers all the way up to your lower lash lines, right? You don't want to do that. It's just going to make the entire look heavy and unnatural. Now, to keep your concealers in place, you want to set with a translucent setting powder, right? You want to be very soft, be very light-handed. Remember, less is more. Tap off the excess and just use slightly. Remember, we're trying to avoid not using too much products under your eyes, because when you do, it's instead of it to reduce the eye bags or the puffiness, it's going to enhance it. That's what it does. So the amount of product you use is what's still going to determine the amount and how you like placement and how you use those products. That's what's going to determine the outcome of how you can cover or reduce the appearance of the eye bags or the eye puffiness. So remember, even as you're setting, less is more. Do not bake your under eyes unless you have very oily skin. Please do not bake your under eyes, because baking is like overpowdering, and it's going to even pronounce it even more. So you don't want to bake under your eyes unless you're very certain that you have oily skin. So unless you have very oily skin, you don't want to bake your under eyes, so it's not going to appear looking very dry and textured. Lastly guys, if you're dealing with eye bags or puffiness, dark circles and the likes, please keep shimmery or glittery products under your eyes. They are going to draw attention instead of diffusing it. So you want to stick to matte products for a more flattering and smooth look. Those are your best friends. See, for today guys, tips on how to diffuse, reduce the appearance of eye bags or puffiness. I really hope you found this helpful. So it's just about using the right technique, knowing what to do, knowing what works for your skin and what doesn't. Remember, your type of skin still determines, like we talked about oily skin and the baking under the eyes. So your type of skin still determines what you should do and what you should not do. So I really hope you found this helpful. If you did, kindly like, share, comment, and please, most of all, subscribe to this girl's channel. And if you have more things you want me to talk about, beauty related, makeup related, kindly let me know in the comment section. I'll be sharing tips and tricks every week. Okay guys, thank you so much for the love so far. Thank you. So until my very next video, stay beautiful.